Hello and welcome to WJTS in.form. Do you have a burn barrel? Well, I don't think you should. Let's find out about that in this edition of WJTS in.form. Having in the studio with us is Carla Striegel Winter. She is the director for the Dubois County Solid Waste District. Carla, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Well, we're going to talk about burning in the county and I guess in the city too, but not so much in the city because it's a different ordinance.
Right.
And you are the Dubois County. You take care of the county.
Right.
In the past, and I remember when I lived in the city when I was a kid, everybody had a burn barrel.
Right.
And you burned all your trash.
Yeah.
But that's a no-no nowadays.
Right, yeah, and I mean you do still see people burning trash and maybe things that aren't necessarily the best thing to burn, but there are so many other options now, and that's one reason we really don't want to see burning of trash, or there's a lot of other items too that I can kind of get into that a lot of people might think is okay to burn, but really there's so many pollutants that come off of that. So there's so many other options now. I mean, we have a great recycling program throughout the county with 8 drop sites throughout the county. So much of your trash can be recycled, and some people think that, oh, well, if I burn my trash, it's not going in the landfill, but it's not just magically disappearing. What's happening when you burn your trash, or when you burn anything, a smoke is going up in the air, and in that smoke is some sort of pollution. All right, if we just have regular wood smoke from a campfire, we're still getting pollution. Okay, the smokier that fire is, the more pollution, particulate matter that's going up in the air. These are teeny tiny little particles that we can't really see. If you were to take a piece of paper or a glass or something and kind of put it over a smoky fire, you would see that, that kind of dark smudge, or if you held a candle to a glass, you'd see that dark smudge, and all of those particles are going up into the air, all right? So we're breathing that in. And with a lot of burn barrels, they're burning at a lower temperature because a lot of oxygen can't get in that barrel. So you see a burn barrel and it's smoking, you know. So even if you're burning natural debris like leaves or something like that, it's smoking a lot because oxygen's not getting into that. And when you don't have oxygen getting into it, you're creating more pollution. So just with the other options that are out there, composting your leaves if possible. City of Jasper residents, of course, can take some of their natural vegetation to a facility here in town. But especially anything that is not natural really shouldn't be burned. And it's actually illegal in the state of Indiana to burn anything except your natural debris.
Okay.
So absolutely nothing.
Well, I was going to ask you, is it illegal to have a burn barrel, but you just answered it by saying it's illegal to burn anything except natural debris.
Exactly.
And natural debris, you're talking about limbs and
right.
campfires.
Any kind of, any kind of natural wood, leaves, that sort of thing is legal in the state of Indiana to burn. Now, if you live in a town, your ordinances may be more strict than the state law, so you always need to check with your town or city just to make sure that you're allowed to, you know, I mean, have a campfire, that you're allowed to burn your leaves. Some of them may be more strict. But yeah, and it's not really that the state is just trying to get in your face about this, but basically what it is that the burning of any small thing, like a lot of people wouldn't think twice about burning a pile of maybe personal papers or something like that. There's chlorine used in white paper to make it white, all right? So most items that we're going to burn are going to have some type of chlorine in them. Whenever that chlorine is burned, it mixes with some other chemicals in the burning process, and it's making dioxins. Dioxins are very, very rough on us. They stay in our body for a long period of time. And actually, outdoor trash burning is considered one of the places a lot of these dioxins are coming from now, which seems kind of strange because we think of factories, we think of, you know, well, anything that's being burned in an incinerator is getting scrubbed and cleaned first, and it's burning at a higher temperature. But when we're doing it on our own, we're burning at a lower temperature, and it's low to the ground, So we're breathing it in, our neighbors are breathing it in, the kid next door that has asthma is breathing it in, and it's just, you know, there are better options out there than burning.
Okay, so what then about wood? What can you burn?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
people have campfires, and they you know, I think even like the state parks, they obviously don't want you bringing in wood because of the emerald ash borer.
right.
However, they say you can bring in construction wood to burn if you wanted to.
Right.
When they say that, they are meaning raw.
Yeah,
construction
they're
wood or
probably
wood.
opening up a can of worms when they say that, because I brought a piece of wood today, and I think that there will be a lot of people that would think this was great and fine to burn in their campfire. Or I'll talk to people who said, oh, well, you know, I had a dresser for the large item dumpster, but I just burned it so it would stay out of the landfill. Well, the problem with that is any wood that is painted, stained, plywood has glues in it, these are all chemicals. So when you're burning these, those chemicals are being released into the air. They're not just disappearing. And it's stuff we're breathing in. A lot of those are cancer causing. And so the more of that type of stuff that gets burned, the worse it is on the environment. And I just can't say enough how much just an individual not burning these things can make a difference. Even if you feel like, well, there's industries that are doing this, it's just different because
They burn it different.
and yes, and they are regulated, and this is totally unregulated, and it's just really not safe. And I know I see a lot of, because there are a lot of factories around in the wood industry, so I see a lot of wood that has glues on it, that's glued together, has veneer on the outside of it, maybe fiberboard. All of those have glues, so those are all creating more pollution than just your straight branch or firewood piece, or just a piece of untreated wood, like a 2x4 with nothing on it that's not treated. You know, these are all have lots of chemicals in them, so they're a lot worse than just burning the straight wood. And I just think it's important for people to think about those things. I mean, you're not necessarily going to get everyone to stop doing that, but people just don't realize. I had
Then maybe what's the lesser of two evils then? That has to go to the landfill?
Yeah. If you have something, this can go to the landfill, and yes, it's much better. It's going to break down in the landfill, so that it will break down over time in the landfill, and it will not leak. Hopefully,
Right.
shouldn't leak out into the environment. So yes, yeah, don't feel like you're saving stuff from the landfill by burning it. I do have a little story about someone that I know that's close to me, and she was going to burn all her cardboard before I got to her house, so I didn't notice that she wasn't recycling it, you know, but she thought, well, burning it is because she hadn't gotten her recycling together yet, and she just, so she really felt like she was helping that stay out of the landfill. And when I kind of talked to her, I'm like, don't you have asthma? And she's like, yeah, you know, and she really just felt like that was a better option than putting that cardboard in the landfill. And I said, no, you know, it's not. Because if it's in the landfill, it is going to break down. You know, obviously recycling it's better. And she's gotten her recycling program together now, and she's recycling. But she had moved, and she just hadn't had a chance to get it together, and she just didn't think about it. And I mean, she's a very smart person, but people just, they don't realize. And, you know, in the past, a lot of our rural people, especially rural people in Dubois County, maybe didn't have another option for their trash. But there's so many options now. And really, if you're not going to recycle it, really, the trash, the landfill is much better than burning that.
Okay. And I know, like the treated lumber, old treated lumber, nowadays it's got a different kind of chemical, but the old treated lumber was treated with arsenic.
Yes.
And that's not something that goes away. If you burn it, wherever that pile is, there's arsenic. It's going to stay there.
Yeah, and that brings up another good point with painted, with anything that's painted. Before 1992, there was still lead in paint. Okay. So anything that you're burning that has paint on it possibly has lead, and that lead will be released out into the atmosphere if you burn it. Yeah, absolutely.
Is it okay to burn shingles? Tires, things like that?
No,
Oh,
no.
okay.
I brought a tire with me today, and you know, it is okay to burn piles of debris, and you'll see that spring and fall especially. You'll see different people kind of clearing up stuff, and the old thing was to start it with a couple of tires to get it going. And no, again, you can imagine the chemicals that are in a tire, and they create that huge, deep black smoke. And believe me, people can tell by the color of the smoke and the smell of the smoke what is being burned. If there's a big issue, it is illegal in the state of Indiana, and it will be dealt with. But yeah, no, you do not want, and actually the solid waste district does take tires for recycling. Okay. So we can recycle tires. Matter of fact, last year we recycled, oh my gosh, like 10,000 pounds worth of tires. So that is a great thing. They're going to the right place. They're getting made into something new. And again, there's other options now for people to do with most things. So burning is just not a very good option.
I guess 20 years ago, you know, that was about what you did. But now, like you mentioned, there are so many options. You can take it to you at the Dubois County Solid Waste District building, or you can drop it at the drop sites. Or, you know, a lot of the recyclers will
absolutely. We have
well.
we have businesses within the county that do recycling as well as a business, and all of those are so much better options than burning. And again, just putting something in the regular trash and paying to take care of that is much better, and makes you a better neighbor and a better citizen.
But if you start recycling, you'll be surprised how much you save.
You really,
you know, I can remember years ago taking at least once a week 2 or 3 bags of trash. Right. Now it's like 1 bag every 2 weeks because I recycle everything else.
Right. Yeah. So, and if anybody has any questions about what is or is not legal to burn in the state of Indiana, I'm pretty well versed on that law. So, again, feel free to give me a call at the Solid Waste District.
Okay, and that number is?
812-482-7865.
All right, Carla, thank you very much for coming in.
Thanks so much, Bill.
All right, get rid of your burn barrel and recycle the right way, or throw your trash away the right way. Thank you for watching WJTS in.form. Our guest has been Carla Striegel Winner. She is the director for the Dubois County Solid Waste District. Thank you for watching. We're local people watching local people, WJTS TV.